people have always thought that we need to act a certain way or conform to a certain trend or certain type of thinking that our peers have been thinking or have been imposed onto us by our parents and by our society and through the education that we've had throughout the years. I believe if we were to think beyond tomorrow or we want to change the future that we have tomorrow, we would first have to rethink how we think and how we portray ourselves today in the current age. We are always chasing for what is tomorrow, to always find that stability, to get the next big job, to get that great internship at some big company, or even to probably just settle down and be like everyone else, but try to be unique in our own little corner or a little space. I feel for us to really excel and for us to really thrive in the real world, we actually have to choose to be unstable, to do things that will scare us, and to do things that will evidently lead us to feel so scared, to feel like giving up. That's when we know that we can no longer go any further down, and the only way to go up is to thrive and to strive and to fight all the way up. We as youth have many choices in life. For example, where to go to university, although I'm assuming that all of y'all chose UTP, no, you wouldn't be here. Probably also after that, after you chose UTP, you probably then had to choose where to study. I'm also assuming that most of you probably chose engineering since you are also here. For me, I chose mass communications and marketing. How does that relate to IT? I will tell you in a bit. So basically, I had the choice from Form 5. As soon as I finished, my parents, who were great influences in my life, told me that if you want to succeed, you need to go ahead and jump right into university. So I did. I straight away jumped into university, and as soon as I finished university, I wanted to travel the world. Like, that was the only plan and only goal. I told everybody, I'm going to travel the world, I don't care. I'm going to bum around somewhere far, far away, and I'm not going to get a job. My parents heard about it, and they were having none of it. They said, no, do you not care about your future? Do you not care whether or not you end up successful in the future? I was still adamant about it. We tried to say, okay, how about we send you and do your master's? And I said, no, I don't want to do something where I will be forced to go back to studying and be forced to doing things that I don't want to do. Because looking back, I have always done what they told me to do. From kindergarten, I jumped to Standard 1, not I had a choice because the government imposed it. Then I jumped to secondary school, and then from there, I just keep on jumping. So when at the juncture of life where I am able to choose where I'm supposed to go, I compromised my parents and I got a job 2 weeks after I finished my final exam. Not after I graduated, 2 weeks after I finished my final exam. And I can still remember that upon finishing my final exam, I took a short break, but even in that short break, I was already working and doing some work because my boss was that great and told me, we really, really need you to do something. Can you please do it? And I said, yeah, sure, why not, right? Because he's my boss and I don't like starving. So, yeah, that was me, like really wonder and aimless. But one thing that was deep-rooted within me is that I wanted to talk and I wanted to make a difference in the world and I wanted to write and I wanted to do things that would make me happy. Things that would make sure that in 10 years down the road, when I look back, when I probably already have that stable job, when I already have that certain sense of security, I want to know that I already did everything in my power in my youth to be a young person instead of being someone that everyone else told us to be. My favorite book by Malcolm Gladwell called Blink, he said that we as individuals or as human beings, if we are so used to what we want and if we are so passionate about what we want to do, we can automatically make a decision or tell a truth from a lie about 3 seconds after we see the situation unfolding. I believe that all of us already know what we're going to do, or there's some innate part inside of us that's already pushing us to do something that we actually want to do throughout our entire life. But because of the pressures from our peers, from our parents, from society, we tend to shy away from actually doing and pursuing what we want to do because we don't want to conform to the stereotype that people say that young people just waste their lives, that young people only do things that are innate from themselves. So we choose to turn away from our passion, we choose to turn away from the things that actually will make us happy, to do things that we think is the correct thing to do just because we don't want to upset the balance. Although we do see already a type of formation of people standing up, young people stepping up to be change makers, people stepping up to make a difference, but we don't see that enough. And for us to really transition to be a better world tomorrow, we need to start with today, to change our mindset today for a better tomorrow. So, as you would see online, especially the advice people give to young people is that life is always up and down, and it's curvy, and it's sometimes you have plateaus. But I believe this change needs to happen towards this one. Hello. Okay. We as young people, this is important. You may think it's up and down, but it's probably going to look something like this. After university, you're going to run, and it's going to be an uphill battle for at least a good 10 years of your life. You're going to be striving, and you're going to be running uphill for as long as you can remember until you finally reach your stability. Therefore, I say, don't then go what other people tell you to do. People will tell you to turn left when there's no left, although you can clearly see you need to go right. But what essentially you do is you go left because everyone said that the best way to go is to go left. Turn right, follow your gut. Go with the uphill battle. Don't give up when you see challenges or when you see things that will scare you. Because there are many things in life that will scare you. Might as well get scared out of your mind when you're young, rather than get scared out of your mind when you have children to feed, when you have to pay off that house mortgage, or when you have to pay off that car installment. This is what people would like you to believe you should be looking at when you're young. This beautiful grassy area, having some form of stability, being able to buy nice things that you weren't able to buy before because you were younger and because your parents said no. But what we fail to see is that if we stay in this beautiful area for too long, or we stay stable on the get-go straight away, we will forget that there's an unknown beyond our line of sight. There is a scary world out there that we need to face and address. It is better to address it now when you are young, to be as unstable and as unsure of yourself, to be tested to the limits, to have people challenge your ideas and challenge who you are as an individual now, so that you can build a foundation rather than building the house and let the foundation crumble. And in the future, when you finally get to this place, being unstable will make you appreciate this stability even more and be less fearful of what is yet to come, because you've already hit the bottomest that you can, and you've already stretched yourself to the biggest limitations that you've already placed upon yourself. So, going forward, here are 4 things we should do to remain unstable and see a future at the end. So first is you give yourself a time limit. We cannot stay young forever. It is simply impossible for us to continue on being unstable forever, because at a certain point of time, reality will set in. People will no longer tell you that, oh, that person is just young, let them do whatever they want to do. Or that stereotype where they say that this young person is young, so they can chase their dreams because they are allowed to. This time limit has to be set upon yourself, where you believe that you need to grow up, that you need to finally become stable, where your goals and achievements of having that stable job, that cushy apartment, and that beautiful side office is something that you want. Young people nowadays think that what you want right now, but I believe you should first seek out the skills and the necessary knowledge for you to even get there. Next, you need to say yes to more opportunities. This saying yes has led me to many different things. Say yes to things that scare you. Say yes to things that bore you. Say yes to things that you think that you'll never do in your entire lifetime. Don't just do things which you feel will help you get to that dream job one day. Because our paths are never paved in stone, and there are multiple types of path that you can take to get to where you want to go. So don't be afraid. And if you somehow run into a roadblock, you can always turn around and take a different route to where you want to get to. If you only take the highway, you don't necessarily get to see the scenery and the beautiful pictures that you will be able to see in taking the harder route, in taking the places, the things that you need to do. Number 3, learn new skills to master. This is quite interesting, and I'll tie back to coding. So I'm a mass comm marketing graduate. So how did I do coding? Basically, I have parents who are both engineers. My dad is an industrial engineer, and my mom is an E&E engineer. They both believe that their children should also be engineers. Sadly, none of us, 3 of my siblings and I, both refused to be engineers. But what they did insist, though, was that we all learned coding when we were young. So when I was 15, my mom sat down next to me. She opened this really thick book, because at the time, when I was 15, it was only like, it was quite far back. So they had this really thick book. We first started with Q Basics, and then C++, and then C#, and then even a little bit of Java. But I probably already forgot half of it, but yeah. So the basics of coding, I understand. Just the more complicated and intricate things, I probably forgot. So a whole 2-3 years of my life, my parents sat me down and they said, look, this is something that you need to learn. Go learn it. I will help you, but you need to learn this. This is important because this is what the future needs. I sat down, I hated every moment of it, but I knew somehow that this will be the future. So I just continued on and persevered on. Fast forward to university days, being in a mass comm major, my friend who was in an IT major at the time, doing computer forensics, told me that there was an opportunity to code or be part of the team to teach children how to code. And they needed someone to also be part of their marketing team. I didn't know it was for Microsoft. I just said yes, because I thought it was something cool, and I rarely got to see this friend because she was forever cooped up in the labs, hacking away at something or other. So I said yes. This thing then led to teaching children across Malaysia coding, and because of the work that we did and because of the time that we took off from our actual studies to teach children how to code, Microsoft, very nicely, or the great people that is Microsoft, they told us, hey, since you helped us for our children's project, President Barack Obama is coming. Do you want to be part of that actual workshop where the children will be there and President Obama will be in? And we just jumped for joy. We're like, oh my goodness, finally, all that nights of not sleeping, it finally paid off. Something like that. So basically, I feel that it all led up to that actual day when my parents sat me down and forced me to pick up coding. You probably already know coding since you're technically engineers. Probably pick up a different skill, cooking, because you might not want to starve in the future. Painting, because you want to, pick up something that you want to admire artwork. Or, you could take up magic, with, you end up somewhere else, even though you're kind of forced to be an engineer right now. So lastly, build your network, because building your network will lead you to more opportunities. You get to meet new people, say hi to the person next to you, because you never know what that person has in store or what can you do. I said hi to this, okay, so basically how I got my job was basically at an event. I was running around. Okay, I wasn't literally running around, but I was in the crowd, and there was this speaker, this guest speaker. He was talking, and I was really inspired by what he was talking about. And as we were leaving, he needed to pack everything up, and everybody was just rushing towards him to help him, get an autograph, take a picture. And I went up to him and I went, hey, do you need any help? Do you need to pack up? Do you need any sort of help? And he said, yeah, sure. I didn't even ask for a picture. I just went and helped him pack all his stuff up. And in the end, he offered me a job right after university at a startup. And I felt like it was a relief because I didn't want to go into a corporate job. I only wanted to have fun, and I thought this was a fun thing. Turns out it isn't really a fun thing. It's quite stressful, but my boss isn't here, so it's cool. So my parting words to you today is that you need to focus on filling up your war chest. Put a hammer in there, put a spatula, put a magic trick, put a book, all those kind of things where you will expand your knowledge, where you will become an individual, where you will learn new things. Because if you only focus on filling up your treasure chest, you won't have the necessary skills that will be needed to guard your treasure chest. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation.